should you train fasted in the morning or should you train with a full stomach? That is the question I want to answer for you guys today. What is up? It's Tyson Brown here, and like I said, I got a question from one of my followers, and he asked, what's better? Should you do cardio in the morning when you're on a fasted empty stomach, or should you wait a little bit later during the day to do cardio, and does it actually matter? Now, there's been a lot of debate around this in the last couple of years, and I like to source through the data, do some research, and pretty much what I found out is that there are a couple of different ways you can go about doing this. So when we're breaking down fasting and cardio and all those type of things, you want to think about what is your predominant goal in the gym, right? What is your goal at this time in the moment? Do you want to lose body fat or do you want to gain lean muscle? If you want to lose body fat, then yes, fasting in the morning and doing cardio may be more beneficial for you. And then there's other things you've also got to think about too. When it comes to training fasted in the morning, what you've got to think about is how much energy are you going to be able to put out into a certain activity. You see, for me, I really like to go and train early in the morning and do it on a fasted stomach because I feel better. There's no food in my stomach, I don't feel lethargic, and I just feel like I can go out there and do what I've got to do. And that was a really beneficial thing for me too when I was actually doing my weight, when I was doing my cutting, and I dropped from 77 kilos down to 65. What I was focusing on is making sure that I was doing my cardio in a fasted state, and it was easy for me. But for some people, it's not going to be as easy, and you're not going to have that energy. And at the end of the day, you want to think about how much energy are you going to be able to put into an exercise, because if you can put more energy into your cardio when you have a little bit more carbohydrates or like food in your stomach, well then you're going to be able to produce more energy in that session. You're going to be able to burn more calories. So you've got to think about that too. If you can still work really hard in the morning while you're actually fasting too, well then that's going to be a really, really beneficial thing because you're in that fasted state and your body wants to use fat as a primary fuel source as opposed to carbohydrates. So think about that first of all. What are you going to be most what's going to benefit you most? Are you going to be someone who is doing it on a fasted empty stomach, or are you going to be doing it someone who needs a little bit more food? What do you feel like you have more energy? One of my other clients, we actually couldn't do intermittent fasting in the morning, and he couldn't train on an empty stomach because he just felt like he just didn't have any energy. And so he actually waited till later on in the afternoon to do his cardio. So it all's going to depend and see what your body type is like. Now the second thing you want to think about is also, it doesn't matter whether you're doing cardio first thing in the morning or you're doing it later on in the day if your energy balance is out of whack. If you're consuming too many calories at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much fasted cardio you do, you're not going to lose the body fat. So you've always got to make sure that you're in a calorie deficit too, because if you're not in a calorie deficit, like I just said before, there's no way you're going to be losing body fat. And nothing is worse than putting in a whole bunch of time and effort, like doing the cardio in the morning or doing the cardio in the afternoon, and then not seeing results week in and week out and thinking it's the time you do the cardio rather than thinking about how much food you're actually putting into your body. So number two is to make sure you're focusing on how much food's going into your body. Are you in a calorie deficit? And how do you know if you're in a calorie deficit? Well, then you will be slowly losing weight over time every single month. And that's the way you can really shift that lower belly fat. It's not going to be through doing ab crunches. It's not going to be doing through all those things. It's going to be making sure you're in a calorie deficit and then focusing on also adding your cardio in. Another component you need to think about is you need to be consistent with your cardio. So even though you want to try cardio in the morning or cardio in the afternoon, you also want to think about how often are you doing it. If you're only doing it once a week and you think this is going to get you the best results, it's not going to happen. You need to experiment and see how many times you've got to be able to do cardio to drop body fat. I always recommend doing cardio at least twice a week or 3 times. So you want to do it on every other off day like I've talked about before. So you do weight training 3 times a week, full body, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you do cardio training 3 times a week. So you can do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then just have one day for a low intensity type of thing. Always on your low intensity days, go for a walk fasted. Wake up in the morning, go for a walk, just get the body moving. It's not going to be hard intensity, and it's going to help shift those little stubborn belly fat that you got stuck there. So guys, I hope that answers your question. It doesn't matter whether you do fasted in the morning or whether you train cardio in the afternoon. You've got to find out where you can put in more energy and where you're going to be able to go hard. Then you want to make sure you're in a calorie deficit, because you can do all the cardio you want, but if you're still eating too much food, you're not going to drop that stubborn belly fat. And number 3, make sure you're training at least 2 to 3 times a week with the cardio. That's the video for today, guys. I hope it was helpful. Now, what I want you to do before you go, I want you to click on the link below and get my free first chapter of the ebook, on how exactly the truth about to get a six-pack. It's not direct ab crunches. It's nothing that you think it is. So if you really want to find out what it is, make sure you click the link below and I'll send it to you straight for free. Till next time, speak to you guys then.